Hey, what is up, guys? So I decided to jump onto Distant Coder's bandwagon recently of the Unchained, even though I won't really say it's his bandwagon because he's jumped off it now to play Altergeist and Code Talkers, but I'll happily pick up where he left off. So I've been playing this quite often at locals. I've been playing it since Virtual World died. It's a horrific accident that it did, and it's worked out pretty well, to say the least. I would say like the only matchup that I'd say is really difficult to deal with is the Altergeist matchup, though, because Slickwitus does not say destroy, it says send. But besides that, it's perfectly fine. It has really easy out to Dragoon as well as other things because everything triggers on Grave, so Dragoon, when it pops, it doesn't get the power boost, and we just have this great 3k beat stick that just crashes into it. But enough of the anecdotal stories. I'll get into the deck profile first and then explain how it works at the end. So we play 2 Abomination, 3 Ash Blossom, 3 Bell, 1 Disaster, 3 Aruha, 3 Rakea, 3 Sarama, 3 Prism, 3 Extravagance, 3 Chamber, 3 Escape, 2 Heavy Storm Duster, 2 Ice Dragon's Prison, 3 Torrential Tribute, and 3 Trap Trick. I'm not going to get into the side because this is just catered for this. Um, and not really for your own locals. You can tweak that to however you feel. But for the extra deck, it's 3 Rage, 3 Anguish, 2 Abomination, 1 Zero Boros, 1 Trisbania, 2 Unicorn, 2 Axis Kurtoka, and 1 Dingrisu. Now, with the deck, it's actually good in the sense that all of the Unchained monsters, well, all the main deck monsters, bar Abomination and Disaster, all have the effect of if they're destroyed, they float into another one. So that's why you play the 3 of each of them. Some people I've seen play only 2 Uruha, and that's just wrong. You don't. You want to max out on your full engine because Rakea is the one that you want to draw into, and if you don't open the Rakea, Uruha is good. The only reason you'd prefer to open the Rakea is if you normal the Rakea and set a back row. If your opponent gammas the Rakea, it's fine because you get a free search. However, if they gamma the Aruha, you kind of lose out and do have an extended from there, then it's all downhill. But that's the only reason why that one's better. Saramas, some people again have gone down to 2. That's wrong again. You want to have 3 of your engine because if you don't draw any of your Unchained cards in late game and you've already lost a lot on your field, then it's just over. You don't win. Traps and spells all have the stamp thing of if they're destroyed while face down, they float into another Unchained. Prison searches for any Unchained card. Remember that because it can search for the back row, which 9 times out of 10 you search the back row. You'll usually want to search for Escape of the Unchained because that's the better one to search because it's the Regeki break that can pop your own stuff, and because it can pop your own stuff as well as the Unchained, you can actually use it to float in during your own battle phase for game. So you can go escape, target 2 of your Unchaineds and get 2 free floats and kill your opponent. Chamber is good, but not as great. It can save you in the sense of it can summon the Disaster or Abomination from Grave, but besides that, it doesn't come up as often as you'd think. I mainly end up siding out one of it because it's just with free access with Trap Trick, all you need is one of these and you can continue. As for the traps down here, you only need to play the 2 Duster and the 2 IDP because you're playing Trap Trick, so you're playing really 5 copies of everything. So at any point in time in the game, you have access to these. The Torrential Tribute is because everything triggers on destruction. So if you blow up your own field, it's fine. You just watch your opponent's field go bye-bye, and you get free stuff from that. And that's really it for the main deck. If you don't have bells or anything like that, you can play shifters, which some Unchained lists go for. Now, I was theorizing with a friend about this, and the issue with maining shifter, I would say, is the fact that if you shifter yourself on your turn as going first, you end up negging yourself a little bit or playing one turn behind. But if you go second and you opened up the shifter, then it's actually not that bad because you don't lose that much. Your opponent has to overextend to build up a board that the Unchained can't just beat through instantly. So it's okay from there. If you were going to side this, I would say to play it with not play the Lanzias and actually play Shifter with Phantasme because Phantasme fixes the other shifters from drawing them. The rest of the side deck's just like personal stuff, where you can have a. This is my budgetary option for it, but if you have more expensive stuff, I'd recommend playing Lightning Storms over the Evenlies and that. But that's really it for the main and the side. For the extra, you can actually play this deck without an extra deck. Like, if you open multiple extravagance, don't be afraid to just like banish your entire extra deck, because worst comes to worst, you're just playing a crappier version of Dino where you're just doing beat down the deck, with Abomination and Rakea just constantly floating and coming back to do the extra damage. If you extravagance and you banish all three of these, it's not the end of the world for that reason, but most of the times when you do extravagance, as long as you have at least one rage, it doesn't matter if you don't have the anguishes because you have Unicorn as your other target, and everything else is kind of disposable. The only thing that I would probably say to change for it is I'm not sure about the access code talker, because subtracting the times where you're doing the big push for damage, it doesn't come up. I've actually used Zeroboros more often, or even Abomination, but 9 times out of 10, you'll go Rage, make a Link 3, and then during your turn, you link back down into Rage, so then you can do stuff during your opponent's turn, unless you have Disaster engraved to actually summon back the Rage. But besides that, not really much else to say about the deck. I'm not going to do a combo video now. I will put up some replays later in the week of me playing Unchained, so you guys can better understand how it works. But it's a very linear deck, and it's actually quite cheap. The main deck Unchained part is roughly between 30 to 60, depending if you're wanting the reprints or the original prints. And then after that, the most expensive stuff is probably the Extravagance and the Ice Dragon's Prisons. Extravagance, you can get lower rarity ones. Ice Dragon's Prisons, unfortunately, is a bit of a pinch. Access code talker, you can live without it. It's fine. I've played numerous weeks. I don't actually own access code talker in real life, so I just played numerous weeks without it, and just played a second Dingrisu and a Underworld Goddess, and the Underworld Goddess just didn't come up. It was just filler for the Extravagance. But anywho, thanks guys for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe as always, and I'll be signing out now. Peace.